now let's try to see how to automate a real test case of the test case of SalesMate Plus application. So in SalesMate, once we have actually planned a new release, and before the release, you might be the developers might be creating developers as well as the test leads might be creating a test cases, so as to test the entire life cycle, entire features of the product. So even if, let's say, even if you created a small feature of the product, in principle, what every release needs to do is it needs to it needs to check almost all the affected areas of that product. So sometimes that might be really bit difficult, and it will take a lot of time to execute all the click on all the menus, execute all the features and get the results, and and you need to make sure that by adding a new feature, you are not breaking any type of features, or you are not breaking any existing features of the software. So normally what people are actually does is, so once you develop the software, you might be handling everything over to the testing team, and testing team to do all these sort of testing, like clicking on the customer background and doing filling all the necessary entries, and do the task in a manual way. So that was previously the case. Now with the emergence of the Python libraries and the Python automation framework, testing automation framework, we are actually able to automate more than 90% of the 90% of the task. This is especially the case with regression testing. So what is a regression testing? Regression testing is, let's say you launch an application, new application, and in the next release you might be needing to add a few set of features, so one or two features in the software. So once the features gets added, then in principle you need to test everything from start to finish. That's the normal way software industry works. So that is called regression testing. So regression testing is actually taking a lot of time and effort, and a lot of manual labor is actually involved. Previously a lot of manual labor is actually involved in that. So if you can automate somehow all these tests with a set of input and a set of output, and validate it and save it to the file, then that will, a test case file as the result, then that will be really good. So that's what exactly the Python automation does. So what I will show you is, I'm going to show you a real test case document which actually one of our team members actually created for automating the SalesMate Plus document, SalesMate Plus software. So where I actually placed is, I actually placed it in testing modules, then the results. Okay, results folder, the test case document. So if I open the test case document, that's actually an Excel sheet document. There, let me launch it. Let it launch it. It's actually an Excel sheet document where we actually had done all the procedures of how to test the features of the software. So I actually created so we are going to create all the scripts, Python automation scripts based on this test case document. So actually she is the one who is actually created the test case document. Then when you click on the file menu, these are all the test cases which is actually available for the test case document, available in the test case document. So she actually explained how to restore the database, what are all the test cases, then how to back up the back up the data, So these are two test cases are actually there. The three test cases are actually for the backup data. So I actually try to automate the previous video. I actually try to automate only one test case, one scenario here. So in that way you need to automate all the test case scenarios which is actually dealt in this document. So once the Python script started running, so once everything gets executed, it actually stores the results here. Okay, so there is a result tab where you will display it as like a actually pass or fail. And in this till you might be outputting the results, and here you will actually say whether it is a pass or fail. So this is how. So you might have, you can see several tabs. Okay, new view setup tab is there. So each corresponds to one menu. So let's say you can see each tab corresponds to the main root menu. Okay, like this. Okay, So how do I organize? So now the next question is I am going to organize all these test cases, okay, into different Python scripts. So that's what I have already created a ready-made. I mean, I have already prepared as a test case script and a nested folder. So that I will be able to get a better understanding of how I actually structured the Python code. So you can see a root folder, then you can see the file menu folder, I mean file menu, Python script, help menu, view menu. So all these Python scripts are actually corresponds to the specific part of the SalesMate Plus application. So if you structure it like this, then you will be able to easily access each and every Python script. For example, in the file menu you can see there are so many sub menus. So what I did was, so there will be one faster file menu like this. So there will be one faster file menu. In this file menu, I'm going to run set of commands which is actually placed like backup, restore data or backup data, which is actually placed in the file folder like this restore data menu, I mean backup data menu and restore data menu. Okay, so this is what actually done. And when you actually structure it like this, you will be able to easily write the code. And you will, let's say once you write the code, let's say some other team members want to access this and want to modify it. If you structured it well, then they will find it very easy to access the files and modify the scripts. So you need to follow this sort of procedures. This is one of the ways in which you will be able to structure it. So let me take all the full script and I will explain it to you. Let me launch the application. Let me launch the full folder. Okay, so let me launch the full folder. Let me show you. Open folder, then testing. So what I will do is I will just open the full folder. Let me show you. So I am just opening the full testing folder where you can see the root file, I mean root master Python file. Then you can see all the other modules which is loaded. Okay, so just select it. It will load the full folder. So let's say what I actually done in the master file. For example, let me try to click in the SalesMate Plus testing.py. So this is what the root folder is. Okay, let me drag it a bit down. What happened? So this is actually the root file. So what actually it does is, so it gets the path of this module folder, part of the module folder. So get the full path of the module folder. I started executing one by one the Python scripts. Okay, so that's what exactly it does. So for that thing, what I did is I actually get the root folder like this. For a module folder path and the module folder path. Here what I tried was I actually get the common folder path, because I actually created a common utility here. So what actually the common utility does? For example, I go to the common folder, you can see an Excel utility. Okay, Excel utility, I just created a skeleton set of skeleton methods and things. I will let me take it from here. I will common. Okay, common is here. So what I actually did was I actually created two utility functions. One is to save the results to a CSV file. CSV file is nothing but a comma separated. That is called a comma separated variable. So for example, let's say so this let's say Tom, then 45, then Pala. So this is for when you save it as a dot with a CSV extension, this is called a CSV file. So Rajesh, okay, then something like 32, okay, whatever. Okay, so again Damapuram. So this is called a CSV file. So when you save the extension, save with this extension as a CSV file. Let me show you. DSMB. Let me save it as a CSV file. Test.csv. CSV. Okay, so when you save it as a CSV file, once you save it and once you double click on the CSV file, see this. So it will automatically get opened in Excel. So this is what the standard CSV file is all about. CSV is a standard format by which you will be able to open in any standard spreadsheet like Excel. Okay, any spreadsheet will support the CSV file format. So that's what I am trying to do. So I get all the test case results, execute one by one. I will execute the test cases one by one. Then I will try to save the test case results to a CSV file. Right now I just put up only a printf to this routine, and this is how a Python routine or Python function looks like. Okay, so I just inside that function I just put only a print statement with all the test case, with all the parameters. So once I have all the test cases in the CSV file, then I might need to save the test cases, get the test cases one by one, for example, and save it to the Excel test case sheet. Okay, so in that way I will be able to easily correlate with the test results. Let me show you where is that. Okay, correlate with the Excel sheet. Okay, see here. Okay, results. So once I got all the CSV file, I will take one by one one by one of the CSV file. For example, I actually passed a tab ID. For example, let me inside the CSV file there is a tab ID, then there is a row number. So in that way you will be able to easily locate the tab ID is, let's say this might be tab ID 1, then this might be row number 3. Okay, and in the row number 3 I just write down, I can write down the pass or fail results. So that's what exactly I'm trying to do it here. I just have a skeleton only here now. I will the team members who is going to work on this project needs to fill up with the rest of the API calls of the Excel. Okay, so that's actually expected from the KDS team member. So let's see again what actually it does. So once actually it again exported the utility, exported the utility Python file, so that you will be able to call it after all the tasks. You will be able to call it as a save it to the Excel file. So that's what exactly it does. So once you if you see, you can see it got the path, and it is calling the Python script one by one. So this is one method by which you will be able to call the Python script one by one. So call Python is nothing but the Python exe. Then you need to pass the parameters. So you need to pass the full parameters. So that's the reason why I am getting the full parameter path like this. Then I am actually appending the path path to the file menu.py, so that it will automatically start executing it one by one. Similarly, all the root Python files which is actually placed in this module gets executed. For example, this one, all these files will get executed. So this are actually structured it so that you will be able to start the development or the testing automation work easily. And you only need to write the Python script here. You only need to write the Python scripts like this, all these sort of folders, respective folders, and just save it and update it to the SVN. So the rest of the tasks will automatically get taken care of. So actually so all the Python scripts, so for each corresponding menu there will be a Python script like this. File menu, view menu is there, setup menu is there, customer menu is there. So I am executing it, the Python scripts one by one. For the time being I am just put only some printf statement here. See this, okay? And in the file menu I actually created added some code inside that, so that you will be able to see what actually it looks like. So inside the file menu I am actually calling the backup menu as well as the restore menu. And the backup menu I have already written already. There is already an existing code there. So I actually copy and pasted that existing code which I actually explained in the previous video. Along with one more thing, so it will actually towards the end it will actually check whether that once it saved the database to the folder, it will check see whether the database is actually there. If the database is not there, then it will log it according to the CSV file. So this is it is actually saving the result to the CSV file. That is, once all the things are saved to the CSV file, then it will call towards the last part. It will call the save it to the Excel file. That is the text case document. So let me try to execute it. If I try to execute it, you can see a lot of commands, just printf statements only. So you can see running test cases one by one. So this is actually the test case of the file. Okay, so that gets executed and the results were saved to the database. So this was the first test case, first test case file, then in file operations file, file operation test case file. Then it will try to execute the other test cases one by one. See, the first thing, so first was the, see this first was to the running the file menu test case. Then I'm trying to back up the things. So that is I have actually written the test case for the backup. Then it launches test cases one by one like this. Okay, running view menu test cases, running setup menu test cases. That you all need to fill with the appropriate test cases based on the test case document, which is based on the this test case document. You just automate the test cases. Then you need to create the full test case document, and that is expected from your side. I hope the team members will be able to easily follow it up. If you are having any doubts, please let me know, so that I will be able to explain it better on the best engineering practices which is actually followed in the software industry. So, okay,